Across our universe, a special significance is often bestowed upon the third planet from a star. Earth, Kepler 186, and Centauri Prime to name a few. In the Pathfinder universe, another third planet exists, the world of Golarion.
Golarion is a striking blue and green jewel against the backdrop of the void. Clouds of white and grey dance across its atmosphere, forming ever-changing patterns over the continents. Vibrant blue oceans reflect the golden sunlight, while its lush green landmasses are marked by vast forests, rolling hills, and towering mountain ranges.
Golarion is a world of contrast and complexity, from ancient ruins that hold undead civilizations to vibrant, multicultural cities of the living. Golarion is a place of magic and mysteries, where legends come to life, and a captivating narrative of cultures, ancestries, and histories weave an incredible tapestry.
Join us in the heart of the Pathfinder universe, a hub of magic and myth, where ancient gods and fabled creatures shape its destiny. Join us for tales of long-lost treasures, nefarious villains, and heroic alliances that will shape the fate of the world and become known as the Wayfinder Legends.
So welcome to a new session. Everyone just leveled up. After your healing session, Brienne, who is the kind lady who gave you that fine blessing that let you level up there, she owns a place called Cayden's Keg, which is a tavern and inn.
Nice.
And you are all invited back. If you need a place to stay, she'll even give you the friend price, the silver piece a night.
100%. 100%.
Yeah. All right. So I'm assuming everyone's going to go back and crash since half the party was basically dead yesterday.
I think it was more than half.
Yeah. I don't think not a single person got out without damage. I don't think a single person got out above half hit points. Even Alec was hurting pretty bad.
Boddy came out, he healed, I think he healed with a potion or something like that. He was at 4 points down, so he was probably the highest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, it's just matching what Plame's hit points were, 4.
Yeah.
And I think that was in ours, too. She might have had 6.
Yeah. I mean, everybody was below half.
Nasty little halfling.
Mm-hmm. Who'd have thought that the halfling, of all things, would be the guy who got the closest to taking out the party?
Bad things come in small packages, apparently.
Yeah.
Now, we handed him over to the authorities of some type. Yes? Very nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I noticed when you handed him over, he didn't have any of his stuff with him.
No, mostly in his skivvies. Like
But on the positive side, Plame has some nice leather armor.
And Boddy found a really nice bow. Interesting. Crazy how that works. Did he have arrows on him too, I guess?
20 arrows, yeah.
Yeah, let me put that in my sleeve.
Very good, very good. Yeah, so go ahead.
Yeah,
go ahead.
You guys all go back. She gets you a room. Like most places, it's more or less like big common rooms. Individual rooms cost, a lot more coin.
Oh.
But yeah, you go back, it's a big common room. I'll say there's enough beds for the whole party. And pretty much everyone, I'm assuming, crashes and sleeps like the dead because you were mostly dead.
And the big healing came from, except for Boddy, from some pretty potent libation.
Yes.
It was a healing potion, quote unquote.
Yes.
So speaking of Calmet stuff, that's the halfling.
Yeah.
What was in his pouch?
Those are those 2 potions.
2 potions.
Yeah, they're not it wasn't the minor healing, it's the next one up, the lesser healing.
Okay, lesser healing. So we have 2 of those?
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. I thought you correctly identified one and you got one or something like that.
But for some reason, Fawin doesn't trust Plame.
I'm 100% sure that was polymorph.
Yes.
I mean, who are you going to trust? You going to trust the spellcaster or the goblin?
All right, so 1 silver for the night, and Pathfinder are just absolute misers on healing. So I believe
it's your Constitution adjustment, isn't it?
Times your level.
Now, I believe Inara will basically have to rest, I think, a full day to get the wounded back. Isn't that it? You have to
she has to rest up to full hit points.
Or
get treated.
Boddy can come over and heal him.
All right, so Plame's got a Constitution of 1. He's level 2 now, so he gets a whopping 2 hit points back for sleeping through the night.
Woohoo!
So now Plame's at 27 out of 28. He is 1 hit point down.
Oh yeah, what is everyone's new totals?
Boddy is now fully healed to 30 points after resting.
With the healing and night's rest, Fawin is up to a new 22 hit points for second level up.
That's
Woo-hoo. Nice. The sun rises the next morning. You all have healed. You're feeling a little better, a little smarter, a little more skillful than you were the day before. You've learned some things. You come crawling out of bed.
Plane's going to go downstairs. Yeah, look for some breakfast.
All right, they're serving up a nice boar stew with oats.
Fawin comes down. She has the hood of her kind of velvet-looking cloak with the silver trim. She has it pulled back. Her hair, as it has not been in the last 48 hours or so, is all brushed and clean looking. And Mesmer is riding on her shoulder in that posture of almost raven-like or parrot-like, just somehow keeping his balance even as she comes down the stairs. He's just, sitting on his haunches on her shoulder, just perfectly balanced there like he belongs.
I figured he'd be draped around her neck like a stole.
That's another position he often lays in, So.
All right, Boddy.
Have we attracted much attention coming back or anything like that?
Well, you didn't last night because it was pretty late.
Good, yeah.
And it was stormy, so there wasn't too many people in. It's kind of storming today too. It's not bad, but you got a nice steady rain going today.
So when Boddy wakes up, he spends an hour preparing his spells and reflecting on the day. We have our own rooms, is that correct?
We have one room.
We all have one room? Okay, so
collectively.
Boddy's off in a corner by himself, just focusing on his spells and thinking about things and just really taking in the day of action and what he's seen. And kind of reserved.
Alec is just setting up in his room, sharpening his sword. He's got that whetstone, running it down that long blade of that two-handed sword. And every so often he stops and kind of looks up over at Boddy and goes back down to sharpening his sword. He doesn't seem to share the party's trust in Goblin for some odd reason.
That's fine. Boddy notices him looking at him, and he just shakes his head and basically writes it off as typical human opinion of hobgoblins. He expects it comes to the territory being blue, but he says to him, "You're good with that weapon."
Exceedingly.
Oh, and humble as well.
It helps in my profession.
Well, you have every right to be proud. I've not seen a warrior of your like. Quite intimidating. The people in the town might be more afraid of you than they are of me.
He just kind of smiles at that one. Possibly. Hell Knights are not known for their cuddly reputations.
Right. Neither am I kind. But lest ye think about using that thing on me, I'll assure you, I don't share the predilections of my people. I don't care much for ambition or glory, just trying to find a way to survive. This place offers that opportunity, and the keep of your ancestors is very revealing. It shows me what these people are made of. It's very interesting. It seems that cooperation for the greater good brings them to do some really stupid and dangerous things for others. It's admirable.
Well, I have found that honor and idiocy have a strange amount of overlap. And he goes back to sharpening his sword. He stops. And do not worry. Unlike some kind, mine do not believe in treachery. If I am to face a man, we will be eye to eye, and you will have steel in your hand. Puts the sword over and starts sharpening the other side.
Okay.
So Inara's passed out face down, kind of mumbling incoherently.
I'm sorry.
Cool.
I'm sorry, Prince.
Stagrum
I'll come back
says,
for you.
I believe your friend is still recovering from her wounds. I will keep an eye on
I'm
her.
sorry.
Not that I suspect she will move much after that keg she drank last night.
So, Boddy had been reading his healing manual throughout the journey and also this morning, and he starts consulting it as he checks on the bandages that Inara had on from the previous day and looks at the healing on them and sees that they're pretty much healed up. And so he checks on her and says, all right, Stagrum.
She had 9 points of damage, and the wounded one condition. Most of that should be healed up by the end of the day.
So Boddy looks at Stagrum and his considerable awesomeness, and he says, I have a feeling you know a little bit about magical arms and armor.
I've seen one or two.
Right, well, I'm thinking that I've seen someone take the properties, magical properties, these runes, and transfer them.
Yes.
I'm thinking I could do that for Inara's sword here. Take this bow, since none of us really want to use it, and put it on her weapon.
Yes, I have seen the armorer at Castle Fred do it several times.
And Boddy says, well, I'm sure we can find someone in town that can do that. I'll come back later for that weapon, if I can find someone who can do it for us. Is there anything I need to get for you in town, since you're watching our teammate?
He stops and goes, some nails.
Just regular nails?
They should suffice.
Right. And Boddy just raises his eyebrows and his ears go up. It's like, okay.
He stops and goes, and see to it that Morello is properly brushed and fed.
Your horse?
Yes, my horse.
Right. Boddy heads downstairs, pulls his cloak over his head to try to remain less noticed, and what does he see downstairs?
Well, downstairs, it's still kind of early. There's not too many people here. There's a couple other people that might be staying at the inn, like some merchants and stuff that are coming through town. Right now, they are eating there's a stew of boar meat, oats, and various herbs from the local area. It's not the most flavorful fare, but it'll fill your belly. It'll put hair on your chest, which is an accomplishment for Boddy.
Yeah, good luck.
All in all, the common area is pretty quiet. Like I said, there's a couple merchants off to the side who are talking about whatever it is they sell, hats or bottles, or you have no idea. It's not too concerned. Whatever knickknacks they're trying to pawn off on people. And then you have Plame and Fawin, who were sitting at another table. And Graham over in the corner, who has poured himself a nice big mug of breakfast.
Dude is just a machine. Okay. Boddy goes over to Plame and Fawin, kind of pulls a chair out and sits down. They're eating breakfast, I'm guessing?
Yes.
Yeah. Where's Inara?
Nora's passed out.
She's all right.
Yeah, she's healing up nicely. I think she got a little too much of the healing elixirs, if you get my drift.
I think she's switched from the healing to the regular stuff about 4 cups in.
Oh, right. Well, that makes sense, because she's out. Boddy waves at the tavern keep and asks how much for breakfast.
It's included in the box.
Right. Take a plate of eggs.
Eggs, right. So she disappears, and she'll be back in a couple minutes with some eggs.
And Boddy takes the bow out and puts it on the table and says, talking to Stagram, and I think we can get this enchantment rune off of this thing and onto Inara's sword. We can find someone in town that can do it.
That's a great idea.
I figure she's the one that's in there slinging the steel more than anybody else.
Flame's gonna look at Fawin and say, well, while he's doing that, we can go and check out the witch in the bookstore.
Yes, definitely go check out the bookstore and find out if the halfling's attitude toward her is legitimate or not.
Right, should I meet you there then? Just in case things go sideways? After?
I think we'll be all right. We're in town. There's guards.
Yeah.
Right, well, I'll check here.
If you don't hear from us soon or can't find us there, then definitely yes. Maybe ask the sheriff or someone to accompany you.
Right, well, it won't take me long to go check out this bow. And I'll come back here if I don't find you here. Want me to bring the sheriff directly or just come check on you?
I think just come check on us there at the bookstore. If it's all right, I'm also going to bring some of the things that we don't know everything about them. This jade cat and this small crystal.
Yeah.
They may not know about it at the bookstore, but we might be able to find another merchant in town too.
Have them check those potions maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I already know what those are. That's fine.
I mean, it wouldn't hurt to double check. Some of them look a little different, right?
Well, I suppose.
And I also think we have some stuff to sell, so we might want to go by one of the merchants and see if we can. I've got this chainmail now that I'm just carrying around.
Yes.
Want me to take that with me?
Sure. And Plame will dig out the chain shirt and give it to Boddy.
Chain shirt, right?
Chain shirt.
Shirt.
You don't think Inara's going to change her mind about the 2 claws? She says she doesn't want them, right?
She has one. I have Ella.
Oh, very good.
I'm going to sell mine.
Okay.
Shall we head out into the rain?
Scattered. Yep.
Yes.
Is Mesmer going to stay here?
No, Mesmer will come along with Fawin.
So Mesmer doesn't mind the rain? Yeah, good. We'll stop by the stables on the way out too and make sure the horse gets taken care of appropriately. I'll let Boddy handle that.
And it's in the stable.
Across the street there.
First thing Boddy does is go check on the horse. Make sure it's got food and water.
Yeah.
And it's not hurt or dirty or anything like that.
Yeah. The stable hands are a little wary about getting too close to it. Every time they get near, it like kicks the head on the side of its snarl.
Boddy, being a hobgoblin, not a huge fan of horses either. He's gonna keep his distance and say, "Right, this horse seems to be healthy.
Yep, it seems nice and strong.
Got food and water.
Yeah.
Well, good." And he's out. Duty fulfilled.
Yep. Check and gone. Okay, so just to recap, you're looking for an armorer, is that
Yep.
right?
Correct.
And you two were looking for
Knowledge.
knowledge.
The bookstore.
Okay. Okay, I was going to ask if you ask around in town for knowledge, but okay. Heads to the bookstore.
Boddy's gonna go ask one of the stable hands and see if they know where an armorer would be.
Yeah, they recommend a place called Quarters and Bits
Quarters and bits.
across town there.
Right.
Yep.
Quarters and bits. And Boddy heads that way anyway. So we can walk together for a way and then we can split.
Yeah, you can walk down until you hit the wall, and when you hit the wall, you can turn and split.
Okay.
Boddy stays kind of behind those two as they're walking, trying to avoid notice.
Right. Okay.
Can you guys tell that Boddy's like kind of skulking? Do they notice?
Do they
Skulking or sulking?
Skulking and sulking, actually.
Oh, there you go.
He's sulking.
Sulking. Yeah.
Boddy,
Oh,
is
yeah.
your back feeling okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Why are you hunched over so much?
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm just walking.
Fawin glances at Plame as if like, I'm right, aren't I? Isn't he like extra hunched over tonight? Shouldn't say it out loud, but
Well, maybe he's hungover. I know he says he doesn't drink, but he doesn't seem terribly concerned.
okay. Then she just kind of lets it go, although it does not go by her notice. Will you be good at the armor by yourself?
Yeah, I'll be fine.
Okay.
I'll meet you at the bookstore in a little bit here.
Okay.
So, you follow the road across town, when it hits the wall, you turn north to the bookstore, and you two, that is Plame and Fawin, turn north to the bookstore. Boddy, you turn south for Quarters and Bits, the local general store / armorer. So, Boddy, you walk up, it's actually two buildings that are adjoined.
One's
Together.
quarters, one's bits.
Yep. One's labeled Quarters, one's labeled Bits. The one labeled Bits appears to be a general store. Just all kinds of odds and ends, any kind of equipment you might want, and just any kind of bits and bobs. You name it, they got it.
Okay.
You know that because there's a small, well-dressed halfling in a bright suit out front
Ooh,
who seems to be glad to advertise to anyone who's coming by.
And that's the bits.
That's the Bits. Quarter appears to be an armory and weaponsmithing shop. They have armor on one side, weapons on the other, and you do see that there's a couple forges there where some big burly guys are working. One looks like he's making horseshoes, and the other one looks like he's holding down the bench right now.
Nice.
But it's a slow morning, you know.
Boddy stops at the entrance where the halfling is chilling. He looks at him, and then he moves on.
And the halfling looks at you, he tips his rather bright purple hat, and says, a prospective customer, a man of value, I see. Glad that you could come. What can Quarters and Bits do for you this day? How can we enhance your life, sir? We have everything. You need bottles. Do you need ropes? Do you need wagon wheels? You name it, we got it. We got swords. We got spears. We have armors. You're definitely a warrior. I can tell from the cut of your build and the twitch in that one eye. He sticks out his hand and says, Crank Twiddleton.
Boddy nods at him and says, "Nice to meet you. Can one of your armorers do magical?"
Oh, I have some of the finest weaponsmiths and armorers in the land, sir.
Right.
You won't find a better one in this county.
Where can I find them?
Oh, that would be them right here.
Thank you. And he leaves. He
Is the halfling still standing there with his hand out?
Yeah, he's still standing with his hand out. He just walked by.
Boddy said thank you before he left.
He's a very polite goblin,
Yeah.
or hobgoblin, excuse
Yep,
me.
he heads over, and the one that's not doing anything. Boddy looks around first to see what does he see in the surrounding area, in the place.
The guy who's doing horseshoes next to him looks like there's some breastplates, some chainmail hoods, maybe some bracers. Yeah, but yeah, he's got some. There's like some armor hanging on the wall behind him, and on the other side you see that there's some spearheads, a couple that are attached to spears, but there's like also several spearheads. There's a couple swords, multiple axes.
Sweet.
Yep.
So armaments and armor in progress and complete.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
various
Boddy
stages.
takes in the quality and everything, and he's seen a weapon or two in his day.
You'd say the quality is, it's not as much as the Haveling hyped it up, but it's above average.
But it's decent. It's definitely workable. Okay, he says, right, looks like you do good work here. Do you take armor and trade? And can you move a rune, one of these magical runes, from one weapon to the next?
The guy looks at you and he scratches. He's got he's kind of a burly guy, long hair, the big thick beard.
Okay, human.
Hair's starting to turn white. You can see he's got scars up his arms, probably from working metal all his life. He kind of scratches at his beard and says, well, I've done that a time or two. I suppose there's a possibility there. I have to look at that armor if you want to trade, though.
He pulls out the chain shirt that he got from Plame, and he says, right, don't need this no more.
All right, so take that. All right, that fellow, he looks at it and goes, I don't know, 3 gold, hang on a second. Got to check with the boss. Hey, boss. And the Haveling turns around, he holds up and goes, 3 gold. The Haveling's like, no, hang on a minute. No. I see a few links there, might have a little rust on them. I see some dents, there might be a cut. Has this been used in battle? Is this used armor? Because that does affect the resale value. Now, I want to give you a good deal. You look like an honest fellow. I want to give you a really good deal here. But, I couldn't go below 2.5.
Boddy says...
That's the best I could do.
Boddy says, yeah, this armor's seen battle. It was involved in the reclaiming of Hell Knight Hill.
Was it? Oh, well, that does add some resale value. Even still, times are tight right now, and I don't know how much money we have in the till.
Boddy says, well, it's made for a small person, and there are not that many small adventurers.
Mm-hmm, exactly.
Not fit for it.
Yeah.
Not fit for it, maybe. Is that what you're saying?
Well, not fit for larger armor. Now, smaller armor will fit them just nice. Matter of fact, our armors, if you have any kind of armor you need resized, these fellows are the best in the area.
Boddy looks him straight in the eyes and says, I'm not talking about the armor. I'm talking about the wee folk maybe not being fit for battle.
Well, now, that's really not my mind to judge. Any man who wants to buy an armor, I'm going to sell him armor. I'm a merchant. I just want to make an honest day's trade,
Well, yeah, I agree with you. I think my companion's perfectly fit for battle, and he's small. So I don't see why you wouldn't have a market for more people like this. I think 3 gold seems plenty sufficient.
Well, now, hang on a minute. Roll me a...
It's going to go horribly.
It's diplomacy.
Diplomacy or intimidation?
It's
Your
diplomacy.
pick.
They're both 0. So let's do diplomacy. Oh, 15. Now, 15 on the dice, 15 total.
So I rolled a 7.
Oh.
I was giving him a +5.
Nice.
So he's like, well, there is this big, scarred up hobgoblin staring down at him. He goes, you're killing me. I like you. And because you are such a fun, I will give you 3 gold in trade out.
Right. And he says, that's fine. And then he says, what about this thing? And he gives him the owlbear claw. And he says, this thing is a little more exotic.
Oh, yes, I have seen one of those myself. I have sold one of those to an adventurer that came through here. They were headed up to Hell Knight Hill. Never did see them again. That was a couple weeks ago, though. Adventurers are so flighty. They wander here, they wander there. You never know when you're going to come up again. I believe I sold that to him for 1.5 gold, and I will gladly give you that price back.
Oh, that seems reasonable.
All right.
So, So we're up to 4.5 gold now, I think?
4.5 gold.
Right, so how much would it cost me to get this rune moved over?
He's going to charge you 4. He's
Total?
These are fine, for the transfer of the rune. Mm-hmm. These are fine craftsmen. So, I mean, yeah, 3.5 in materials, but you can't underestimate the value of this man's time. So, 4.5 gold. How's it sound? He sticks his little hand out.
Boddy says, how about I give you the short bow, these arrows, the owlbear claw, and this chain shirt for the swap clean over. That's more than 4.5 gold for you.
Well, you, sir, are a shrewd bargainer, and man, I mean, you just got me over a barrel. All right, I'll take it, but you owe me one.
And Boddy says, I know you're just going to sell this owlbear claw to the next dope who goes up to that hill anyway.
I am a reputable merchant, sir.
Yeah, with a really good racket.
He smiles.
And he winks at him and goes, I'll be right back. And so he heads back to check on Plame and Fawin before he goes back to the inn.
Okay, so
Tavern.
So you guys are looking for the Reliant Book
The
Company.
Reliant Book Company. Yes.
So you go up north for a little ways, and then you have to turn down like a little side street, and there's like a little plaza, and it's kind of tucked in this little alcove in the back of the plaza. There's like a plaza with a well in it. And so you walk up to the little building, and head in, I guess?
Yep, if it's open.
Yeah. What does it look like on the outside? Is it just kind of a plain building, or has it got some?
It's a fairly plain building. It's got a little placard hanging over the door. It has an outline of what looks like a book and a scroll that have been scratched into a piece of wood, and the word Reliant Book Company in letters around it. Awesome. It's very out of the way, niche, kind of place. So you open the door, there's a little bell attached to the back of the door, and you look around, and it's a small room. There's a counter down one side, and then the walls, just floor to ceiling, are bookshelves, and there's several bookshelves running this way and that, like odd angles through the room, all of them stuffed, full of books and scrolls of all kinds. There's even some stacks here and there on the floor. It looks like it was arranged by a crazy person.
Fawin is having to immediately fight down the urge to just take a left turn and start looking at the bookshelves and everything. Book. Right, she's just like, oh, wow, and just stands there for a second before remembering, go to the counter first.
Yep. Okay, you head to the counter, and there is no one there. There's a door behind the counter, and you hear some clattering around it there. And you hear a woman's voice hollering at you, a minute. So, you wait, I assume? Or do you go browsing? What are you doing here?
If it's more than like 30 seconds or so, then Fawin can't help it. She's going to turn, and whatever happens to be next to her, she's going to start looking through this pile or that shelf or...
Yeah, and now you don't see anything that looks magical, but you do see all kinds of tomes. You name it, they've got a book on it. They have history, they've got natural philosophy, geography, geology, a few ologies, you're not even sure what they are.
Fawin has lore in academia and herbalism and also fortune telling.
Oh.
And then she has knowledge in some other things too, but those topics might be things she would be drawn to if she happens to see anything.
Yeah. Oh, there's certainly a variety of academic texts. There's philosophy texts. There's some on biology. There's all manner of things. Like just thumbing through them, there's a book, the Fauna of Garund. There is the flora of the five kings. You have the history of Taldor. You have the proper history of Isgr, which is the one that Warble had that got eaten by a particular dog.
Fawin thinks about it for a moment, and then just kind of puts that thought in the back of her head, like, yeah, if there's extra coin, maybe at the end, but we'll see. Yeah. However, these history books, she starts now scanning for history of the Hell Knights. Anything about Hell Knights? She starts scanning the bookshelves for those.
Yeah, there will be a couple. There's not a lot on Hell Knights. you notice. Probably not a popular subject around here, but there's a couple. They're more general, kind of a broad overview of who the Hell Knights are, where they come from, that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
Yes.
And she'll peruse through those, just kind of perusing, table of contents, the type of thing, if there is one.
Yeah, there's one that just discusses all the different orders of Hell Knights. That's all it is, just a giant appendix.
Oh.
Yeah, there's 8 major orders. There's like a dozen minor orders. It seems like they just crop up all the time, and they're spread not just in Cheliax. There are some Hell Knights who apparently are all over the place. They run from here to Kadira, as far north as the Lindorm Kings, or at least up to Frisia, and even some down in Garut. They're an international organization.
Yeah. And Garund is basically, if we think about our world, Garund is basically the African continent, right?
It's the next continent south over the inner sea. The north half is all desert.
Yes.
And then once you get the bottom of the desert, there's a giant wall of mountains that are like Himalaya-like mountains, and on the far side of them is apparently jungle.
Okay.
Yeah. You can pick that up from the flora of Garund if you want. Or no, is it fauna? No, it's fauna of Garund.
I think you said Five Kings Mountains is what
It was the flora of the Five King Mountains, the fauna of Garund. Yeah, so if you want to read about cool animals in Garund, you can thumb through that one.
Cool. Yeah. Why not? Why not?
Okay, so you're thumbing through it, and there's like this big dragon crocodile thing, all blue, red scales down its back.
What? Plame, look at this. Look at this. And he shows.
That looks familiar.
It's
eating a friend of yours.
it's a look at the thing that was in the name of it is how do you think you pronounce that? Oh wait, you don't read. Never mind. Sorry.
It's spelled Graulaudon. Growlodon.
A growlodon.
Yes. They are a vicious predator from central Garund.
Start reading this aloud to Plame.
Yes. They have the appearance of crocodilian form, but in the far distant offshoot of dragonkind. They make their dens in shallows of fetid ponds in isolated corners of larger bodies of water, usually in rural swamps and jungles. Driven almost entirely by their base desire to feed, Growlodons spend most of their time swimming leisurely underwater looking for prey such as fish or waterfowl. They're possessed of a greed befitting their more majestic dragon cousins. Growlodons often take prey larger than they need, jealously guarding the corpses to keep scavengers away, even as the meat rots from the bone. A typical Growlodon can grow to over 16 feet in length and weigh over 1,500 pounds. That is the freshwater Growlodon. Saltwater Growlodons can actually get much larger.
So you're reading that to Plame.
Yes.
Plame gets a puzzled look on his face and it's like, but I thought Garund was like far. You're from far away from here.
Well,
have you seen this creature before?
That is what I said, but no, not that far. I mean, Garund is 600, 700, 800 miles.
Probably closer to 1,000.
I mean, we've traveled a lot over the circus, but mostly up in the northern parts. So I don't know that I've ever seen anything like it.
You know swamps in Isger.
No.
Did you think someone with the Hell Knights have captured one small or like raised it and then
There were two.
it's a mated? I'm very what was it doing in Isger?
And how did I get in the courtyard?
I wonder if Warble will know anything more about this.
You might have to talk to her later.
That's right. And she'll flip through the book a little bit more, you know. So
Roll me on the D20.
okay. A 14 on the die.
All right. So after a bit of work, you do stumble across something that looks an awful lot like the bat that you saw.
No way.
Yep. Also from Central Garund.
Plame, what is going on? Look, it's the, what do you call it, a boss? A B-A-U-S?
It's a big bat.
Yeah, a bat of unusual size?
Yes, that's what it's named.
It's a bouse.
So she just pondered, like, ponders these things, it doesn't make any sense that these things would be. In fact, she says aloud to Plame, it doesn't make any sense that these creatures would naturally have come to the castle, like to, sure, denizens and creatures and things crawl in, but how did they get here?
And then Plame thinks for a minute. It's like, and they couldn't have been here that long. I think they only had the Rumble Bashers held up for a week or two.
Right? And I mean, the bat, sure, maybe living in the cave down below, the catacombs down below, but it would also want to go out and feast and fly at night.
Very peculiar.
Yeah,
The door behind the little counter opens up.
She slowly puts the book, closes the book and then puts it back on the shelf.
A tall, slender woman, pale of skin, I would say golden hair, but it's a very pale gold, comes walking in. She's got it up in a ponytail on the top of her head.
Appears to be human?
Actually looks to be Ayuvaran.
Oh.
Like yourself. Yes.
Half elven.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Half elven. Dressed in a green robe, and she steps out, and you see that she's got, looks like a travel cloak over one arm. She turns to you and speaks in a fine Chelish accent. Yes, how can I help you?
Well, we actually came earlier for the Call of Heroes.
Oh, excellent. I hope that's worked out well for you. I heard about the terrible trouble that they had at the city hall.
Yes, they did have some trouble. Our primary goal was to go and help the Bumblebrasher tribe, though.
Oh, how kind of you to look after. Yes, I see you've brought one with you.
And Plame smiles and a big smile, and he turns on his absolute best diplomacy. And yes, we were instrumental in bringing back the little thieving halfling that seems to have absconded with some of your gear.
You see her face fall. She's like, oh, yes, him.
Unfortunately, I know he had stolen at least a charm, but he was using it and we had to capture him and he ended up breaking it.
He stole several things from me. Or at least I suspected. That's why I fired the little fool. Plus, he was the most incompetent help I've ever had. I had 2 potions, and an amulet, and a scroll go missing. No doubt one of them was involved in the fire. I told the authority as much. I fired that little miscreant several days before this happened.
I don't think we found any potions on him. Like I said, the only thing I remember is the amulet shattering when I struck him in the head and knocked him unconscious.
Ah, I see. So that's what happened to that amulet. If I was still paying him, I'd take it out of his pay. Take it out of his flesh, the little...
Can Fawin do like a perception check when she talked about firing him? Did she pick up on any facial nuances that maybe this is true or maybe it's not?
What'd you get?
19 plus 4 is a 22.
You needed a 21. Barely. Something's... You see the eyes kind of dart back and forth for just a split second, like she's thinking when she says it.
Okay.
Again, Plame being as charming as possible.
Oh, yes.
So Plame was like, he's a kind of a jabbery little fella too. He does not seem to like you very much, but it makes sense if you fired him.
That's all he did. Talk. No work.
But you'll be glad to know we turned him over to the authorities here in town, and I'm sure they will mete out the justice he deserves.
Yes, there was a rumor going around.
And Fawin says, yeah, I think they were, looks down at Plame, looks back at her. I think they were probably going to do a full interrogation on him. I'm sure if he's keeping any secrets whatsoever, I'm sure they'll get those out into the open.
Well, good luck for them. I don't think the little creature knows much of anything, if you know what I mean.
And another check to see how she reacts?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a natural. This is a 14 on the die for an 18.
Yeah, she seemed to think the guy's an idiot.
Okay. Well, Sheila glances down at the cloak. Well, are we keeping you? Do you have time for business today?
Well, actually, it is business that calls me away. You see, I'm having trouble with one of my suppliers up in Multhoon, and I have to get up there to straighten out a bit of a supply issue.
Oh.
So if there's something I can help you with, I must be on the road as quickly as possible.
Have you looked at the weather? It is terrible out there. I wouldn't let a dog walk out in this weather, except for maybe that warg.
Yes, wargs are troublesome little things. I must be going. It's quite pressing. This is about the time you'll get there.
Okay, so Boddy shows up.
Yes.
He looks around and sees the piles and piles of stuff, and he's just like, what in the world?
Yes, there's a half-elf behind the counter who is giving you the stink eye.
Okay, Boddy notices said stink eye and says, don't worry about me, I'm with him.
Fawin gives this lady a knowing look like, yeah, right, he says that all the time, like not really, like, you know.
Rude.
Yeah, she kind of leans over and says, yes, it's terribly difficult to get good help, as I know.
I know. It's amazing. He's always asking for more money. It's quite troublesome. It's quite troublesome. So you would think the halfling would have been a better worker. They're very industrious with the right motivation, if you know what I mean.
I have tried to motivate him on many occasions to no effect.
Yeah. Your accent is absolutely wonderful. You were obviously born, maybe Contargo?
Yes, I went to school in the Royal Academy in Igorian.
Oh.
Yes. I see you are a spellcaster yourself.
Well, yes, and I try.
I never quite had the touch, but I have an excellent eye for academic works. As you can see, we have some wonderful volumes. Unfortunately, I can't tell you about all of them. I do need to be on the road before the weather picks up.
Well, we don't want to delay you, but yet also you know how important knowledge is. And so, just a couple of things. And she reaches into her backpack and she pulls out that commander's banner.
Oh, okay.
And she says, do you by chance notice, do you know anything about this banner? I mean, I know it's not magical, but would it perhaps pertain to a particular order of the Hell Knights or represent a particular philosophy or rank?
I'm afraid my knowledge of Hell Knights is only passing at best, but I suspect it's from the local hill, especially given its state of decay.
That's true. This is indeed where we found it. And we also found this, and she pulls out the jade cat figurine.
You see her brow kind of raise up. It's like, oh yes, a very beautiful piece of work. Yes.
We might like to keep it, but I'm not sure exactly what else it does.
Oh, it is just a little bauble. I think you've seen how these commoners like to attach little baubles to their armor. Yes, I could give you a couple gold for it if you're not interested in it.
Oh, the jade itself seems like it's much more valuable than just a couple of gold pieces.
Perhaps 3. I do like the craftsmanship. What is that? Is that Taldoran, perhaps?
I'm not that familiar with it.
Yes, well, it's certainly better than any of what the Kiri locals seem to produce.
Fawin can pick up that this is something big, or she feels like it's something big, and so is not inclined to want to sell it whatsoever.
And Plame's going to look at Fawin and say, the noble lady has already mentioned that she's not inclined in the magical arts. We might try to find a spellcasting type person.
That's right.
I think there might even be, some kind of spell that would maybe identify what these are.
Oh, that's so smart, Plame. Thank you.
Yes, they're so much more skilled than I am down at the, the Artisans Guild or something.
Fawin turns around, gives Boddy a wink, and just as superciliously as possible, hands him the jade figurine and says, Boddy, would you please hang on to this for us for a little while?
Boddy takes it.
Thank you.
It's a jade cat.
Jade cat.
So Plame's going to kind of glance at Fawin and glance at Boddy and say, well, I think the noble lady is in a hurry. We should probably let her be on her way.
Yes,
Okay.
I have to get up to Multhune. And yes, take care of that problem with the suppliers. It's terribly difficult. You know how they are up there.
Well, thank you so much. We're just very glad. And when do you think you might be back? I would love to look some more at your books.
It is a bit of a trip. Oh, I don't know. I shall perhaps be gone for a week or two.
Oh, we may be gone by then, but okay.
It's such a shame to miss you. You don't have to roll. That's a lie.
So, shall we exit?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and slip away.
Yeah.
Thanking her pleasantries.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes.
As we step out, Fawin would like to say to Plame, I don't believe her for a minute. I think she's going to make a run for it. I think she's involved in something.
Also, roll me a society check.
Okay. 14.
Yeah, that accent, that's a little too accenty for a Chelish noble. Yeah, that is not a real accent.
And her accent, I think she was affecting it. I'm not sure that she truly is from...
Yeah, she kept saying, I have to go up there. Correcting herself.
So I guess as we walk out to the plaza and kind of walk around the corner to that road that goes back toward the tavern, Plame will just kind of step back in the shadows, and the buildings that he's standing next to, he wants to try to climb up to the roof of one.
Okay, give me an athletics check, buddy.
Okay, so Plame has assurance in athletics.
Oh.
Is that a new acquisition?
Yes, that was part of the part of the blessing that we
What
got.
does assurance do?
So assurance allows you with some bonuses and some minuses, so you can take a 10 plus your proficiency level in one skill. So athletics would be one skill. You do not get to add modifiers for your stats, but you don't have any negatives either. So, so yeah, it's just a flat 10. And in my case with athletics, I am expert in athletics. And so my proficiency is 6, so it'll be 10 and 6, so 16 automatically without rolling a die.
Yes.
The flavor behind it is, this is something that you've done so much, it's just ingrained. It's not, you don't even have to think about it. You just do
All
it.
those years climbing up in the circus, he just, without even thinking about it, just bounces off one wall, hits another one, jumps up, catches the windowsill.
He looks like a spider monkey.
Spider goblins, those are from Garoon.
Oh, that's right. And then he's also going to be as stealthy as possible with the 14 roll.
Alrighty. Okay.
All right. So when he gets up to the roof, he's going to look around it. Does it look like anybody's like staring at him or on the street, or like anybody maybe notice?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay, perception plus 5. So 17 modified.
Nice.
Nope. You don't see no nut.
Well, I figure with the rain and everything, people kind of keeping under the eaves and stuff.
All right. You do hear the ka-chunk of someone locking the door behind you as you guys have left.
So we went kind of down and around a little bit and then up. So now I'm looking down into the plaza. So Plame's going to kind of keep an eye and see if he sees her leave.
Okay.
And he may make his way over just so if there's any place where he can see maybe the plaza in the back.
You rolled a roll.
I rolled a roll.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So you're going to sit and wait and try to watch her leave? Mm-hmm. Okay. And you're looking down into the plaza.
Well, I'm going to try to make my way around where I can see. Because I don't know, if she's locked the front door, then I assume she's going to try to leave out the back door. If there is a back door, but I don't know that there's a back door. So he's going to kind of try to maneuver so he can see both. At least he can't necessarily see the door to the front door to the shop, but he should be able to see the plaza.
Okay.
So kind of where I can see that off in the distance and then down into the back of the building as well, if possible.
Roll me a perception check.
Natural 1.
Oh,
Ooh, baby.
So
Got some,
I didn't see it.
got some rain right in your eye.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and spend my
your hero
Hero
point.
point. And we'll re-roll that.
I should point out we're starting a new session. Everyone gets 1 hero point if I didn't already say it.
That's better. It's an 8 plus 5, so 13.
13. That's a decent roll. You sit and you watch it. What are you two up to?
I guess we keep walking toward the tavern.
Yeah.
So I'm telling you, I went down to the armory. There's a really, it's connected to the general store, and there's a really talkative halfling there who runs both sides. And 2 very strong-looking humans working the anvils.
How'd that go? Were they going to be able to do the work?
Yeah, we're going to be able to swap the chain shirt and owlbear claw.
Very good.
And the bow and the arrows to move that rune from the bow to Inara's sword.
Well, that's very good. Knowing that we're a little bit farther away now, Fawin says, well, if I was reading Plame right, I think he's circling back around. Maybe to try to do a little, shall we say, exploring?
Yeah, Boddy looks down, doesn't see Plame, like, of course he is. Well,
Yeah, but no, I think we might be best served by contacting the authorities as soon as possible. I don't think that lady is who she said she is at all. As much as we dislike the halfling's attitude, he may be right.
what makes you think she's not what she says she is?
Well, I could just get a vibe of her being distrustful and her voice, and there's nothing wrong with that. But also, it seems, remember the halfling said that he was following her orders.
Yeah. Do you think she's tangled up in the fire?
I think for sure she's tangled up in the fire, and maybe even the way the goblins have been treated at Hell Knight Hill and Mulfoon. I don't know why anyone would take supplies out of Mulfoon. The whole thing's very sneaky. I'm almost positive she's trying to skip town.
Right. Well, if Plame's got an eye on her, let's go.
I suggest we head to the sheriff or head to the marshal or hopefully not Jan Janssen. That guy, is a little dense, but if we could find, someone else, then
What? You do find Jan Janssen.
of course we do. Of course, he's the first one we run into.
Well, yeah, he's out in the town square there. He's running in circles, doing a break in the rain. He's running around the town square there, squawking like a griffin with his arms out. The little girl riding on his shoulders, her pigtails flopping in the wind. She's just having a great time until she slides it back and grabs the chin strap on his helmet. Chokes him to death. She's like, go faster! And he's like, he finally takes her off and says, go back to your mother.
Nice.
Jan looks busy. Let's just go directly to the sheriff ourselves, unless you want us to go to Jan.
Yeah. Looks at her and shakes his head. She's chuckling at him. And he turns around and goes, right, I'm doing official things. Yeah, what do you need?
Jan, the fire,
Yes.
and we're pretty sure it was arson.
Yeah, we know it was. She appears to be magical arson. Yes.
Yeah. The
Or
book-
fire methods.
And she lowers her voice a little bit. I know that this might be problematic, but I think the bookseller was in on it. I think she actually gave orders to the halfling, and I think she's trying to skip town right now.
Those some pretty serious allegations. Well, we better talk to the council. I'll go find Captain Lavender. He takes you down to where they're rebuilding the city council house there,
Yeah.
and takes you around back as you came in last time. Only instead of turning right to where the council members' offices are, he goes the other direction. And he knocks on a door, and you see it says Captain Lavender, a little plaque on the door. And it opens up, and there's a tall half-elf in a long, vibrant blue hauberk.
Oh.
Yes, and his hair is back in sort of a short bun there. Tall, handsome fellow. And he's like, yes. And he kind of leans forward and yawns and whispers some things. You see his face kind of darken for a second. And he says, well, I think we have some very serious things to discuss. And we'll discuss them next week.
All right. Of course. I love his like Swedish. Und we better go now. Like,
It just kind of
Norse
meanders
like,
around.
Yeah.
What country am I from? Who knows?
Yeah. I love it.
It's a Lutefish.
I need to back off of that one.
No, I like it.
No.
I want to have it see him clicking. Ork.
Ooh, orc. Don't say orc around here.
Wayfinder Legends is a production of Render RPG, LLC, and all original characters and artwork are the property of the respective creators. The Age of Ashes Adventure Path was originally produced by Paizo Publishing, and all Paizo characters, titles, and artwork are used with respect under the guidelines of the OGL and ORC gaming licenses. If you like what you've heard, join the party at patreon.com/renderdnd. You'll get additional content, Discord access, quarterly gifts, and more. Join the party at patreon.com/reddirtdnd.
In case you guys are wondering, by the way, while it's just a bunch of dudes here talking about this, we are unfortunately missing Inara's player, Emily, and she is sorely missed.
She's homesick.
Yeah, she's out sick, unfortunately.
Yeah.
She's taking the big sacrifice and not getting us sick. We're
very kind.
Hopefully in the very near future, she'll be feeling better.
100%.
Yes.
Yeah.
And every so often he stops.
Start over.
Every so often he stops. Ching.
No, we can include it. Like, ooh.
The glint of light at the end of the blade.
As he flicks the blade to clear the dust. Ding. But in the meantime, we should do like a Mad Libs thing for like things for her to say, and we'll just like insert them.
Oh, I love this.
Inappropriately.
I love this idea. Yes. Inappropriately.
Yeah. Like,
I'll be the one doing the inappropriate statements.
Inara, what do you think about that?
Is there a space between in and then appropriately?
Yes.
We'll put them in
yeah, put them
appropriately.
in inappropriately. Yes.
Okay.
2 ins.
Ah.
Yeah. But we can blame it on her drunkenness. So maybe she got so much healing that she's like,
oh yeah, she healed the heck out of this place. She healed this place dry. Her and what's his name, Tanglebeard.
Tanglebeard, yes.
Yeah,
the
Glenn
cleric.
Tanglebeard.
Yes, that guy's
the cleric.
cool.
Yeah, he was quoted as saying, "You know, it's a fine."
We're a fine group of men.
Oh, okay.
She speaks Dwarven.
So Boddy looks at the bow and he says, I'd like to find some way to take this enchantment from this bow and get it put on Inara's sword. Is that what we agreed upon?
Fawin and Plame are downstairs.
Great, he says to himself. And Stagrum looks at him like he's nuts. Like,
Yeah, maybe one of you guys can figure out what that big thing was you fought.
I thought it was a halfling.
That makes sense now. They're like, why when I used the wing, it didn't work?
Because gravity on the southern hemisphere.
Far away, upside down, and I would have had to go the other direction.
Yeah, okay, that's very nice, Plame.
that's hilarious.
That's plain.
I love it.
I don't believe in gravity.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it.
So,
So now we're recording, are we?
starting recording.
Just now.
Yeah.
I don't know if there was anything else on.
Nothing else.
No,
on
nothing
before.
inappropriate would have been said before that hit recording button.